afternoon, everybody. What is going on? I am Jeff grantMEDIA. In today's real user review, we're going to be talking about the Iron and Resin Scout jacket. But right up top, the disclaimer. I am not affiliated with Iron and Resin in any way, shape, or form. I bought this jacket with my own money directly from their website with a 15% off coupon, if I remember correctly, that I got because I was a first-time customer by simply signing up with my cell phone number, my email address. They sent it to me, and I went ahead and bought the jacket myself. Now, I have been wearing this jacket for, I think, about a month, maybe a little more, give or take. I've been testing out a lot of different things lately, so the dates get a little jumbled inside my head. But, yes, I've been wearing this jacket quite a bit lately. I will say, it is April in northeastern Pennsylvania, and we had 3 days in a row where it was 90+ degrees. So, I didn't wear any jacket, just like a t-shirt and a pair of shorts for those 3 days. So, there's a few days where I wasn't wearing any jackets at all because it was just ridiculously warm for false summer. But why did I get an Iron and Resin Scout? I have been looking at waxed goods and been interested in waxed goods for quite some time. Mostly bags, but I've also been looking at jackets. I had several in mind. I was looking for a particular style, namely the Type 3 trucker jacket. There was another brand I was looking at that I ended up not getting for a few small details that I wasn't totally satisfied with their product that I found in Iron and Resin that I wanted to try. But I should also add, I finally fell into the Last of Us hype. Great show, love the show. Never played the game, watched a lot of the walkthroughs, so I know the storyline from the game. And I never played it. I'm not much of a gamer myself, but the Flint and Tinder wax trucker jacket that Joel wears, Pedro Pascal's character wears in the TV show, it finally did it, and I said, that just looks great, but I'm not sure if that style's for me. I like trucker jackets, and if you saw my unboxing, you know that I replaced my old black denim jacket with this jacket. And now it's time for a quick spec rundown. The Iron and Resin Scout comes at $325 USD. This is a foreign-made jacket. It is available in oil tan, oak brown, or charcoal. And then they also have the Haley Stevenson version, which comes in black. That also comes in at $325. All versions of the jacket are made from a 12-ounce British Millerain waxed canvas with a 9-ounce Klamath flannel lining. It has a Riza breathable waterproof barrier, number 10 Talon zippers, branded Iron and Resin shank buttons. My oil tan version 1 measured 22 inches pit to pit, and my charcoal version 2 measures 21.5 inches pit to pit. And as I stated, this is a Type 3 style trucker jacket. Now, as I mentioned, my version 1 and my version 2 had a little bit different chest measurements. They generally give you about a 1-inch variance in chest measurements when they're giving you the measurements of the jackets anyway. So if you look at the sizing chart, it's generally like 41 to 42 inches. So 22 inches would come out at a 44. 21.5 inches would come out at a 43. So you'd be looking at like 43, 44, 41, 42, depending upon what size you're looking at. They generally give you like a 3%, which equates to about an inch variance for the chest difference. But I regrettably sold my version 1, and I kind of wish I can get it back now. Anyway, moving on, as always, we're going to start with the negatives, and the first negative is this jacket has a zipper. Now, I personally like the Type 3 style trucker jacket with just the buttons. I primarily only use the buttons on my jacket myself. I will use the zipper, however, like when it was raining out or super windy, I was zipping it to get a little bit extra protection, mostly so when it was raining, the water wasn't just coming right in, because I generally only button 2 buttons of my jacket. But I also have an issue with the zipper because I don't generally use it. It tends to ride up a little bit, and it gets caught maybe about a quarter of the way up or a little less from the bottom of the jacket. And that makes it a little bit more jangly because as the tab is bouncing around, it's hitting the actual zipper pull, and it makes a little bit of noise. So I would honestly prefer this jacket does not have a zipper and was just buttons only, and it would be a little bit more true to a Type 3 style trucker jacket because they don't have zippers. And my next negative is my right belly pocket. It came unstitched along the seam on the inside of the pocket about a week into wearing the jacket. Now I should say that I am right-handed and I do put my keys in my right pocket. And this has happened to other jackets that I've had. Not all of them, but it has never happened within a week of wearing the jacket. So within 1 week, the seam came unstitched in the right belly pocket and I had not one, but actually 2 holes in there. So I had to sew them up. I probably could have sent the jacket back and they probably would have just sent me a brand new one, repaired it, or maybe they would have fixed it and sent it back. But I am totally capable with a needle and thread, so I just stitched it up myself and I moved on. Because as I've said, this has happened to other jackets. Generally, it's after a couple of years of wear. I've had maybe some more inexpensive jackets after, a few months of wear. I think one leather jacket I bought on eBay like 5 or 6 years ago, like a couple months down the line, the seam on the pocket split open. But generally this happens like a few years. This was 1 week of wear. I have not had any other issues of quality, but I should add that that was a negative because I didn't expect the seam in the front right pocket, belly pocket, to split open after only 1 week of use. And that's it for my negatives. I have those 2 negatives. And one, I guess I would say, is more of a personal preference. I wish the jacket just didn't have the zipper. I find that it's cumbersome. I don't really use it that much, and because the zipper does kind of get stuck a little ways up, it does get a little noisy because it is a number 10 Talon zippers with a big fat tag. So it does get a little noisy, and I feel like it's just a little bit of an annoyance when it kind of rides up a little bit. But the big one was the inside seam on the right belly pocket split after a week of wear. That should have happened after a week. Again, a couple months, a couple years down the road, sure. And it's not a big deal, I guess, ultimately for me because I didn't send it back. I did stitch it back up, but hey, Iron and Resin, if you're looking at this, maybe QC your inside pockets a little bit better because mine split really early on. Now we're gonna move into the points of note. And the very first one I'm gonna talk about is the fit of the jacket. Now this is more of a tailored fit jacket, so if you're in between sizes or you like to layer, you should probably layer up one size. And because the jacket does have a tailored fit to it, it does get a little tight across the back and across the chest. Now I have noticed that my jacket did break in quite a bit. It stretched out just a little bit, but as you wear the jacket and it kind of wears in, it loses a little bit of that stiffness because if you feel the jacket, you'll notice as you wear it, it gets a little bit more dry, if you will, where the wax will kind of start to rub off and it doesn't have that like wet feeling when you first got it. So it does kind of break the jacket in and it does make it lay a little bit looser and a little bit better on you. So when you first get it, you might find the jacket is a little bit snug, but as you wear it, just like any other garment, it's gonna break in. Now the next point kind of goes along with that. And this is something I read after buying this jacket. And I read this in a review in the Rambler, was that a user in their review of the Rambler said that the size large Scout fits like the size medium Rambler. So the Rambler is the unlined version where the Scout is the lined version. So my guess is the jackets are all cut to the same measurements, but then once you put the liner, the Klamath liner, and then the satin sleeve liner, as well as the Riza liner throughout, that's taking up the interior room. So the shell of the jacket is probably cut the same on the Scout and the Rambler because it's the same cut, the same style jacket, but then they put the liners inside the Scout, that's taking up some of the space. So I can see why the size large Scout might fit more like the size medium Rambler because you're taking into account of the lining inside the jacket. I cannot state that for personal experience because I do not have a Rambler. Iron and Resin, I would be more than happy to take a look at a Rambler. I do keep looking at them, but if you want to send me a Rambler even as a loaner to do a side-by-side comparison or a review of, I will be more than happy to confirm that firsthand. But if they don't, you may want to reach out to someone that possibly has both styles of jacket, and then they can confirm that yes, the size large Scout will fit more like a medium Rambler, or vice versa if you're wearing, large Rambler, extra large Scout. But again, I cannot confirm that personally as I only have the Scout. Another point of note is that this jacket is a bit heavy. And I'm not talking about the 12-ounce canvas. I'm talking about the physical weight of the jacket. You can notice there is a little bit of heft to the jacket, and that is compared to similar jacket styles. Now, there is 3 liners, different liners if you will. You have your blanket lining throughout the body, your satin lining throughout the sleeve, and then your resin lining, and then a 12-ounce canvas shell. And then you also have your corduroy accents on the jacket, and your black, this is not corduroy, underneath the buttons, this is just a black backing. So all that adds to the weight, but you can notice that the jacket does have a bit of a physical weight to it. It definitely feels heavier than similar jackets that I own or have tried and used in the past. So keep that in mind, that the jacket does physically have a bit of heft to it. The next point of note is these corduroy lined sleeve cuffs are really, really nice. They do help to keep your watch face pretty clean. I have another very similar wax canvas jacket that is not lined on the cuffs, and I will say it's a little less prominent now as the jacket gets a little dry, as I said earlier, but when I first got the jacket, it made a mess out of my watch face because the wax was just smudging all over my watch face. I always had to keep rubbing it clean and everything. So the corduroy sleeves actually really help to keep your watch sleeve, your watch face clean. So if you're considering the Iron and Resin over another jacket that has unlined cuffs, you may want to check out the lined cuffs of the Iron and Resin, because it definitely does help to keep your watch face clean. And it's not going to work just for smart watches. Like this is a 3. This is an Apple Watch 3. But any watch face is just going to get smudged up from the wax on the cuff of the jacket. But with the corduroy, it helps to keep it nice and clean. So that's a very good point of note. I should have put it into a positive, but I mean, it's just kind of a point of note because some people don't like the corduroy lining and the corduroy accents. I know one of my commenters on my unboxing video said that they didn't like the look of the corduroy on the collar. They like the collar to be the exact same color as the jacket. That, again, it's a personal preference, but some people might not like the corduroy lining, so they might lean towards another style jacket. But just so you're aware, it will smudge up your watch face because the wax will just kind of rub against your watch face and smudge it up. And now we move into the positives. The INR Scout is a true trucker jacket look. This is the pinnacle style of a trucker jacket when people think of a trucker jacket or a jean jacket or a denim jacket. This is the look of the jacket that they are talking about and thinking about inside their head. Most people don't understand that there's type 1, type 2, and type 3 jackets. But there are different styles and types of jackets based upon how the jackets were kind of evolved over the years. But this is the more modern style. This is what people think of when they think of a trucker jacket. And this has that look, minus the zipper, which generally isn't there in a trucker jacket, but overall this is the look of the trucker jacket, and that is what drew me into Iron and Resin. I just really, really like the trucker jacket look. As I said in my unboxing, this is replacing my denim trucker jacket, so I wanted it to look similar to my denim trucker jacket because this is the cut and the style and the look that I like, and this is it. This is like the pinnacle style, even down to the epaulettes on the back of the jacket. The next positive is something I mentioned a little earlier on, is that the jacket does break in. It will kind of stretch out, form to your body, and loosen up some. I've heard other people say that wax jackets don't break in, they just stay stiff and they stay the same size when you got them. That's not true. They definitely break in. I'm feeling the jacket now, and I can tell you it honestly feels drier than when I first got it because the wax, especially in those 90-degree days we had, kind of probably warmed up and kind of seeped into the jacket or rubbed off from wearing the jacket. And it did stretch out just a little bit, not a lot. Like, I would say the perfect amount right now. I'm sure if I continue to wear this for years and years and years, it will stretch out a little bit more and it'll give just like any garment does. So the wax canvas jackets will break in, they will stretch out, they will soften up a little bit. It's not going to get completely loose and soft like a standard cotton would, because it is wax, so that is always going to, even if the wax wears out and you have to re-wax the jacket, there's always going to be some sort of wax that's permeated into the jacket. So it's always going to be there. You just might have to reapply to get that look you're looking for and to get the water resistance reapplied to the jacket. But wax canvas jackets, they do break in, they do loosen up, and they do conform to your body, unlike a lot of what other reviewers were saying. And I personally find these corduroy accents to be very, very nice. It helps to break up the jacket so it's not just one solid piece of gray. We have a little bit of the black accents between the collar, underneath the buttons, and you don't really see it too often, but underneath the sleeve cuffs and underneath the front chest pockets is also corduroy lined. So I think it just adds to the overall aesthetics of the jacket. I like it, it's really nice. I've noticed that on several denim jackets that sometimes they do have a corduroy collar and whatnot. So it does help to make it a little bit more comfortable too. When you have to flip the collar, you'll have the soft corduroy on your neck as opposed to the wetter wax canvas on your neck. So it kind of adds to the comfortability and I think the aesthetics overall of the jacket. The next positive is something that I don't mention often because I don't often have to deal with the customer service, especially if someone sends me a bag, they're generally being nice to me. But the customer service, I was back and forth with the customer service quite a bit when I was trying to decide on what I wanted, when stuff would be back in stock, because the jacket wasn't in stock when I originally wanted it, but it came in stock very shortly after. So their customer service was really, really great. They were very helpful. They were very upfront with all the questions I asked them, and they took care of me. And again, I was a paying customer. They did not send me this jacket. I bought this with my own cash. So customer service gets 2 thumbs up for Iron and Resin. And my last positive is the jacket does in fact shed water pretty well. I've not gotten caught in a torrential downpour, but I have been caught in the rain several times now wearing this jacket. I will say if it's a very, very light misty, kind of sprinkly misty thing, the small droplets still kind of absorb pretty quick. But when you get the bigger, fatter droplets that have a bigger surface area, they do beat up on the jacket. And I was dry, I never soaked out, I never wetted out. So again, though, this jacket does have a Riza liner that's built in between the shell and the interior liner that is supposed to be a waterproof barrier, but I never saw the water kind of totally saturate through the canvas. So even though this is breaking in nicely, and as I said, it's a bit drier now, not saying that's dry, but it is drier than when I got it, it still beads up the water nicely and it sheds it if you get caught in the rain. So overall, fit, feel, finish. Do I like my Iron and Resin jacket? Do I recommend that you buy one? Is it worth your $325? And honestly, I'm pretty satisfied with the jacket. There are a few changes that I would make, and honestly, the biggest one would just be to remove the zipper. I am bummed that the pocket split a little bit, like a week into using it, but all in all, I mean, the jacket, it fits me well. I'm actually able to layer a little bit with this jacket. I can fit a hoodie on underneath and zip the jacket. It does make it a little bit more snug underneath. That's mostly my fault for growing a little bit in the midsection, but the jacket still fits, it's still comfortable, and I still have a full range of motion, even with a sweatshirt on underneath the jacket. So do I think it's worth $325? You know, I feel like it's around that $250, $300 range. I don't want to say that $25 is pushing it, but it's kind of one of the direct competitors. I mentioned it earlier, is the F&T Wax Trucker. That's $298, and that is made in America, where this is actually made in Pakistan. I'd say, you know, knock that 25 bucks off and you'll do a little bit better competing, but all in all, it's a solid quality jacket. I'm very, very satisfied with it. My version 1 of the Scout, that was American made. The Rambler is, I believe, still American made, but the Scout is made in Pakistan. So ultimately though, I'm happy. I think I would probably purchase this jacket again. I don't know if I'd go up with a large, just because my experience, every time I do size up to a large, it fits me terribly. Like, I feel like I'm swimming in it. There's way too much material. I can usually wrap it around myself. So even if the medium might be a little snug, I'd rather it be a little snug and take the time to break the jacket in. But I'm pretty satisfied with my size medium. Overall, I definitely like the jacket. Ultimately, I'd say yeah, it is worth the money. I'm pretty satisfied with this jacket. It's wearing well, it's breaking in. I think it's starting to show a little bit of patina. You get a little bit of the wrinkle going on. You can see a little bit of the lighter spots. Can you see them? It's a little hard to see, but you're getting a little bit of like the lighter spots where it's breaking in and everything. So yeah, I'm pretty satisfied with my jacket, and ultimately, I think I would end up buying this jacket again. If I had a redo, I would still buy the jacket, because I don't know if I'd buy, buy 2 of the same jacket, but maybe I would. I don't know, maybe I'd get one in another color. I do like the oil tan, so maybe I'll get an oil tan version, or hey, maybe Iron and Resin, you want to send me an oil tan Rambler? I can A-B the 2 jackets. That'd be cool. I'd be down for that. But yeah, ultimately, I'm happy with the jacket, and I do think it's worth your money, and I would buy it again. So, if you like this video or any of my other videos, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Smash that big red button and ring that bell right next to it so you get notifications next time I post a brand new video. Good night.